Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Wednesday. I hope your day is going really well so far. Let me just move this guy so it's a little bit more straight. What is up, guys? Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a great day so far. So all week this week, we are talking about meal prep recipes. And yesterday we did lunches, which was so good. We made a bunch of awesome salads. On Monday, we made some breakfast meal prep recipes, which was so good. And today, we're going to do dinner recipes. So I love making dinner recipes because mostly it makes me feel like I basically don't have to do any work at the end of the day because I already have a fridge full of dinners ready to go and we can pick and choose what we want to eat that particular night. So I'm actually going to show you two different really easy but really delicious meal prep recipes for dinner. And these are going to be so quick and easy. You're going to have so much time left in your day that you won't know what to do with it. Just kidding. You'll know what to do with it. Just relax. So today I wanted to start off with one of my favorites, and this is called a sheet pan dinner. And if you've ever heard of these, it's basically when you get a sheet pan like this, and you fill it up with all the things that you're going to have for dinner, and you just roast it in the oven, and basically your entire dinner is just on one pan, which is not only amazing for cooking, but amazing for cleanup as well. So you only have to clean up one pan. So my sheet pan dinner is my chicken, lemon, and oregano sheet pan dinner. On this pan, which I didn't even have to grease or anything, I have some chicken leg quarters and a whole head of cauliflower. And I've just put them on the sheet pan and we're going to season it together. So what's cool about this is that we're going to start off with some really basic ingredients that you likely have in your pantry right now, like salt. Obviously, you need a little bit of salt to sprinkle over the top. I mostly try to focus on the chicken itself, just to make sure it's nice and seasoned. The salt is going to make sure that the skin gets nice and crispy as well, just going to draw out all that moisture. And then, obviously, we need some pepper. So this is just some finely ground black pepper that I keep in a little container here. And I'm just going to sprinkle that on top of everything as well. So there you go with that. And then because this is a lemon oregano chicken sheet pan dinner, we're going to add some oregano. So I love using dried oregano. I think it's so delicious and it goes with so many things. So I'm going to use my dried oregano and I'm going to sprinkle on probably about a teaspoon all over the chicken and the cauliflower. And this is going to be so fragrant and it's going to taste so delicious. Oregano is often used in pizza or Italian food. So this is going to make it taste amazing. And then we need a little bit of garlic powder. Now you could also use real garlic if you wanted to, but this is just quick and easy. I always have a ton of garlic powder, as you can see. So I just sprinkled that on top as well, about another half teaspoon as well of that. And then that is literally it, you guys. That is the entire sheet pan dinner, all done and seasoned. And so all you need to do is throw that into an oven at about 400 degrees until the chicken is cooked, which is usually about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the chicken that you're using. So I'm using chicken leg quarters. You could totally use chicken pieces. You could use just chicken thighs. You could even use chicken either on the bone or not. Chicken breast on the bone or not. You just have to amend the cooking time so that your chicken breast doesn't get dried out, because that particular part of the chicken can get dried out pretty easily. But literally that's it. And when it comes out of the oven, just grab half of a lemon and squeeze it all over the top. And that's going to give it a nice acidity to complement like the fattiness of the chicken quarters. And then that will be a really nice complement to the cauliflower. Now you could also do one of my favorite tricks, which is load up the oven when you're using it. So in my particular oven, I have 3 racks in it. And I know that in my previous oven, in my last house, I had 2. So I just love to pack the oven full of things when it's on, instead of like at a separate time trying to make some roasted vegetables and like that's the only thing going into the oven at that time. While we have the oven on right now to make this particular dinner, make another sheet pan of vegetables, for instance, that you could use in sides for this particular meal or for other meals later in the week. So what I did is I made just another sheet pan with some asparagus and some cabbage. So we used cabbage yesterday and I didn't use it all. So instead I just chopped it all up, put it here on the pan, and then the asparagus doesn't take very long to cook at all. And all you have to do is wash it and trim off the woodsy ends. And that's it. So I would just throw this into the oven as well for probably 10 to 15 minutes to get that cooked. crisp tender on the asparagus is the way that I like it. And then like a little bit of the caramelized ends on the cabbage would be so good. And you could literally use this with this chicken cheap pan dinner, or you could make a salad out of this. Or you could have it like if you had eggs and asparagus in the morning. It would be such a versatile side to go with anything from breakfast, lunch, all the way to dinner. So just loading up your oven with amazing like side items that are really versatile is going to make your life so much easier. And really that's why I like meal prep, because it makes life easier. So that is our first of 2 recipes. And literally guys, I've just been talking for like 5 minutes and we've already made 1 recipe, and all you have to do is throw it into the oven. So how easy is that? Okay, now for my second recipe, in my little electric skillet over here, I'm just turning the heat on to medium high because I have 2 pounds of ground meat in here. And what we're actually going to make today is a beef stir fry. Well, I'm actually not using beef. I'm using deer meat, but you could definitely use beef. You could also use turkey. But we're making a ground meat stir fry, and we're going to have this as our main protein. And we're also going to add some vegetables. And I'm choosing to use carrots today because I basically always have carrots. And I think it's such an easy thing for people to get to. Hopefully this time of year, you're still able to get some good produce at the grocery store, but also everybody likes carrots. Pretty much everyone I know likes carrots, and so it's a really easy accompaniment for this stir fry. So all I'm going to do to the carrots is I'm just cutting them up into thirds, and then I'm going to cut them into matchsticks. So I actually have this is really loud, sorry. I actually have a YouTube video on how to julienne carrots, which is basically just how to make matchsticks out of carrots. And so that's what I'm going to do now, because it will cook really quickly after the beef has finished, or the meat has finished cooking. So I cut each of the little thirds into 3 planks. And then I'm just going to cut it into matchsticks. Hi, Randy. He says, a great way to use deer meat. It can be really gamey for me. So I like the idea of it in a stir fry. Yes, that is. Can you even hear me? Like, is that way too loud? Okay. So I completely agree. Sometimes game like deer or elk or other things like that, we usually have a lot of it, but it can get really gamey. And I like the fact that the soy sauce and actually the sauce that we're going to put on this stir fry is going to be really flavorful. So you won't necessarily taste that it is deer meat if you're like averse to the flavor of it or averse to like the idea of it. Really, deer meat or elk meat is so great because it's really lean. And so that's what I really like about it as well. And obviously this stir fry is super duper flavorful. Now the recipe for this stir fry is actually in my 5 Easy Meal Prep Recipe ebook. And you get that when you sign up for the giveaway, which I have going on right now that actually finishes tomorrow. So the giveaway is for a book that my friend Jenna. Oh, okay, good. Thank you, Randy, for saying it's not too loud. So my friend Jenna has a brand new cookbook out called The Home Chef's Sous Vide Cookbook, and I love sous vide right now. I think it's so fun. It makes you look like you're a fancy gourmet chef, but really it's so easy because you just like put things into little bags or put things into water, and then you set the sous vide machine to a temperature and a time, and it does the work for you. So you basically don't do anything, but you get all the credit, which is amazing. So if you go to my very last blog post, there is a link in there for you to sign up for the giveaway. And you will also get my 5 Easy Meal Prep Recipes ebook, and this stir fry recipe is in there. And it's so easy. Literally, guys, we've been having this like every week for the past like 3 weeks, but it's still so good. And there's so many different things that you can do to it. Like if you didn't want to put carrots in it, I put in green beans, or broccoli is really good, kind of like a beef and broccoli stir fry. And then like too, you could really put a mixture of veggies in there, or you could change up how you serve it. So normally I would serve it with rice or quinoa, but you could totally toss it in with some like rice noodles. That would be so, so good. Okay, so I got to give this a stir. Let me grab a spatula. Oh, that is good. Okay, here we go. Anyway, so how's your day going, guys? What's been going on? It's hump day. How are you getting through hump day? It actually was raining terribly overnight last night. We actually had hail again, which was crazy, but luckily no damage around here. And now it's like 80 degrees again. So I don't know what's going on with the weather. It's been insane. But that's Texas for you. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I am going to try to put this somewhere right here and cut up the rest of my carrots. So I'm just making matchsticks out of these carrots. There you go. But this is really just such a go-to recipe for our family because it's ridiculously easy to make and it's really a crowd pleaser. And for my husband and I, when we eat it, we usually add in like a little bit of heat. So we might add in some sriracha just on our own servings, not on the kids' serving, which is a really great option too. But the kids usually like it just how it is. And then also, like a little bit of sesame oil on top is like a finishing oil is so good, as well as even some sesame seeds or some chopped up like cashews is so delicious on this. Oh, Tara, hey girl, how's it going? Okay, so Tara says we will marinate our deer meat in a milk bath and it helps with the gamey taste, but if it's not cleaned properly, you will taste it as well. Only speaking on this because deer meat is huge in our family. Yes, okay, so we get a lot of deer meat too. And I usually do the milk soaking if it's not the ground meat, but if it's more like the deer steaks and things like that. Hey, Sandra, how's it going? So yeah, such a great tip though, Tara. Really, really helpful. Okay, this is looking so good. I'm going to keep cutting up carrots, so you guys have to talk to me. Let me know how your day is going. So I think what's really cool about meal prepping is that, like, I remember that when I was working corporate and I would come home at like 6 o'clock at night after a long day because I used to work in the oil field. And so we would have to go to work really early in the morning and we'd work really long days. And then we had kids, and so then we'd go to the daycare after work, and we'd have to pick them up. And then by the time we got home, it was like 6 o'clock, if not later. And everyone is so hungry and tired. Everyone is just like, oh my gosh, it's been such a long day. And especially the kids, because they would get so like hangry and they'd be crying and everything. And it's the worst when you come home and everyone feels like that and you have literally nothing prepared for dinner. So for me, meal prepping was the way to go. It solved all of the issues that I had because obviously we had delicious meals that were in the fridge just ready for us to heat up. But also, you know, after you have kids, I was trying to lose the baby weight. I was trying to figure out, like, I had Olivia, my oldest, who is 7, and then I had the boys, and they're 4 now, so I had twins. And I was like, how am I supposed to lose all this baby weight? I have to, like, somehow eat healthier, but it's so hard to do when you're not like pre-planning for your meals. And so that's what's so great about meal prep because it helps to keep you on your healthy meal eating plan. And it just was like a lifesaver for me because I remember distinctly coming home and just feeling so overwhelmed and frustrated and stressed out about like, what am I going to make for dinner? I just remember that so like clearly in my mind that I knew that I had to change it because it just wasn't working. The things that we were doing at that time just was not working for me. So that's why I really love meal prep. And that's why I'm such a big advocate of it because I know that it helped me out so much. And I really believe that it can help everybody, especially right now at this particular time. Like I know in Texas, they have said that all of our schools are still going to be closed until the end of the school year. And I know a lot of other states have said that too. And so I'm going to be literally home with the kids, homeschooling them, in addition to trying to run my own business and keeping a moderately clean house. But, you know, I think right now it can be super overwhelming for people, especially mothers, because I feel like a lot of mothers are the ones that are trying to homeschool, that are trying to do all the cooking and cleaning and make sure everyone stays sane, you know? So I just think that if you can meal prep just a little bit to stay ahead of the game, that's going to be a huge lifesaver for you too, so that you don't have to feel so rushed at the end of the day. You don't have to feel so stressed out and wondering what the heck am I going to make for dinner that's actually going to taste good and be good for us. So that's why I love meal prepping so much. And that's why we've been talking about it all week, because I really feel like a lot of us have been struggling to eat healthy during quarantine or during this like lockdown or stay at home period. And I totally get it. There was a time when I could just sit on the couch and do nothing. I mean, last week I felt so low in energy, and I absolutely understand how it can be when you're at home and you're just trying to make sure that no one like but none of the kids like try to strangle each other during the day, and you have so much responsibility. But knowing that there was healthy food in the fridge not only gives me a sense of relief, but it also helps to fuel your body. It also makes you feel better when you're putting the right kind of things into your body, the right kind of things for you that's going to nourish your body. That's what's going to make you feel better. And so I just believe that healthy meal prepping can help so many of us right now. It's helped me, and I really hope that it will help you as well. Okay, so the meat is looking so good. And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to throw the carrots in. So the meat is basically all brown, and I'm just going to throw the carrots on top. They're going to take a little bit longer to cook since they are carrots, and they usually just take a little bit longer to cook. But if you're using like green beans, you don't have to have them fully tender, nor do you have to have the carrots fully tender. The green beans just need a little less time to cook. You could also put in the broccoli a little bit later on. In fact, I would do the broccoli if you're using that when you do the sauce. But we're going to do the sauce right now. So I'm starting off with 1/3 of a cup of water, and I'm going to add in 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce. Now, if you are gluten-free, you could definitely use tamari, which is similar to a soy sauce, but without gluten. So that is, we finished off the soy sauce. I'm going to have to get some more of that. Okay, so that's 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce. And then now we need some kind of sweetener to balance the saltiness of the soy sauce. So I'm going to use this coconut palm sugar. This is what I have, but by all means, use brown sugar if you have it. You could just use normal granulated sugar. Either of those would be great. And you really need about 2 tablespoons of that. So that's all that I have in there too. Looks like I'm running low on groceries, guys. And then the last thing we need, or last 2 things we need, are ginger. So this is just ground ginger, and you could totally use fresh ginger too. And so what I would do is I would just grate it into the sauce so it can really incorporate well. But that is 1 teaspoon of ginger. And I'm out of ginger too. Oh my gosh. Okay, and the last thing is garlic powder. So I'm not going to use this whole thing. I'm just going to use 1 teaspoon of that as well. And that is literally our entire stir-fry sauce. It's so easy to make. You could make this ahead of time and just keep it in your fridge. And so whenever you want to do a stir fry, or you want to add this to like a noodle dish or something, like if you wanted to stir fry noodles in the same sauce, use the sauce, keep it in your fridge for ahead of time, and then just pour it into whatever dish you're going to make. So I'm just stirring everything together, make sure it's nice and incorporated, and we're going to pour it into our electric skillet here. Ta-da! And that's it. That is literally the stir fry. So what we'll do now is we'll just let it simmer. It's going to incorporate all of that delicious sauce into the meat and into the carrots, and it's going to taste delicious. And that is the stir fry. So in less than 17 minutes, and we've made 2 dishes, and one of them is literally cooked in front of your eyes. So once again, you can serve this with rice. You could serve it with quinoa, which I love serving things with quinoa because it is such a nutrition-packed powerhouse. It literally has all 23 of the amino acids that your body needs, which means that it's giving you all of the proteins that your body needs to make sure your cells are developing and growing and regenerating and all of that good stuff. So highly, highly recommend giving quinoa a shot if you've never tried it before. And also, that's a super versatile dish too. I mean, you could use it in salad. You could use it with the stir fry. You could literally even put it into soups. It's so, so good. Or you could even just have this on noodles like we talked about before, or even on lentils. I mean, literally, this is such an easy dish that you could put with anything. So make sure you give it a try. Make sure you sign up for the giveaway, because honestly, that giveaway, I'm just like literally giving you things like crazy. It's a no-brainer. You get entered into the giveaway for the cookbook. You get my 5 easy meal prep recipes, and you get a meal prepping guide, which is basically walking you through how you can begin to meal prep in only 5 minutes a day. So if you want to just streamline all of your meal prepping, that is literally the way to go, because I walk you through what you can do in 5 minutes every single day. And it can really make meal prepping much more like attainable for everyone. Instead of feeling like you have to, like on a Sunday, make five or six different meals for the entire family for the entire week, which is going to take hours and hours. You literally don't have to do that. as long as you get prepared ahead of time, that is really what counts. When you do that planning, when you get ahead of the game, that's really what's going to help you be successful. And honestly, that is my whole philosophy behind my course, which is called 30-Minute Meal Prep. And I'm super excited because I'm about to open up my 30-minute meal prepping course again. So I'm in this course, I show you my 4-step plan to get meal prepping done faster, more efficiently, and easier than you ever have before. And this is such a great course for the people that think that, you know, meal prepping is really stressful and overwhelming. It doesn't have to be. I'm a firm advocate in not spending hours on a Sunday making all of the meals for every single day of the week. I used to do that and it was frustrating. And we would get burned out on the meals that we would make. So by doing this 30-minute meal prepping, you'll be able to make multiple meals in that 30 minutes so that you don't have to spend hours on a Sunday or on one particular day of the week trying to figure out, like, how am I going to make enough food for everyone? Everyone's going to like it. I mean, that's huge. So I'm going to be posting the link to my 30-minute meal prepping course underneath this video. And please check it out. Please send it to the people that you think would be interested in it, because I really believe that meal prepping can help us. And I just scrolled down here on the comments. So Randy was saying, when I do meal prep, I'm like, why am I not more consistent and better with this? Because it makes my night so much easier. Yes, Randy, I totally agree with you. It literally can be such a lifesaver. It can help you so, so much when you just get ahead just a little bit more. And I mean, you'll just look like a rock star, which is what I want you to look like, pretty much. So guys, once again, after this video, I'm going to be posting the link so you can check out my course, 30-minute meal prep. Randy's done the course before, and I'm really thankful for her amazing testimonial, which I'll also be sharing. But like, guys, I really believe meal prepping can help you. And if you want to check out how I can help you to do that in real detail, make sure you go to my 30-minute meal prepping course. Once I post it underneath this video. But guys, our stir fry is done. That's literally it. So I'm just gonna stir everything together, but all I would do here is I would cool it down, put it into some resealable containers, and then put it into the fridge, and that's it. You could add way more vegetables if you wanted to do that, or you could just do the meat, the ground meat, in this particular sauce and add vegetables later on the side if you wanted to. Really, the choice is yours, and definitely use the ingredients that you have. Instead of feel like you have to only do what I'm doing, use the vegetables you have on hand. Use the things that you like. Really, cooking is about figuring out what flavors you and your family like and putting that into different dishes that taste interesting and are healthy and delicious for you every single day. So thank you, Randy. She said that I think she's referring to the course, that it was awesome. I just need to get into a regular routine with it. Yes, and actually for this launch of my 30-minute meal prepping course, I'm going to be coming out with a ton of bonuses that's going to help with exactly what you're talking about. And so you'll be able to really implement the things that you learn in the course. So I'm really excited to come out with those particular ideas. And then also Sandra, who's my mother-in-law, hi, she said browning hamburger meat and freezing in Ziploc bags is a great time saver to go with your meal prep guide. Yes, that is so true. So that's what Sandra does. So she'll get like a really big package of ground meat, and she'll brown it all, and then she'll just separate it out into different Ziploc bags depending on how much they eat, and then she'll freeze it. So whenever they want to do taco meat, she'll just take that out of the freezer, let it thaw, and mix it with the sauces or, you know, whatever else that she might be making. And so I think that's such a great tip too. So thank you for that. Okay, guys, that's literally all I have. We have made 2 awesome dishes for dinner. I mean, this stir-fry ground meat or beef, but depending on what you're using, is so good, guys. Literally, my kids will eat this and they'll be like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Mommy, you make the best food, which is like awesome for me. And then we also have the lemon oregano chicken sheet pan dinner. So good as well. Can't wait for you guys to make it. That particular recipe is on nourishwithrenata.com. So make sure you just go over there to that website, type in the name, and then it should come up pretty quickly for you. If you have any questions, let me know. Tomorrow is going to be all about healthy snacks that you can meal prep. So I'm excited to show you some awesome dips and things that you can munch on in the afternoons or whenever you get that hungry feeling that are going to be really good and really good for you. So I will see you again tomorrow, guys. Thanks so much, and I will talk to you tomorrow at 1 o'clock Central. Bye, guys.